Going bald has been a point of insecurity for men for a very long time. But now, thanks to TikTok and brands, it might be the best thing that could happen to you and your online persona. The New York Times put out a fascinating report. What turned them on to this? I would love to know. But they put out a wonderful article. They focused on some bald TikTok influencers, such as Zeph Sanders, who is paid for referring viewers to hair growth company whose prescription gel he uses and is sent at no cost. He also receives commissions from the sale of scalp massagers, satin-lined baseball caps, and a dozen other products he links to in his TikTok profile. He said that his hair growth content on TikTok and YouTube had earned him as much as $7,000 a month. Hey, if they give you health insurance, I'll do it too. I'll become a TikTok bald influencer. I might not fit the necessary qualifications, but I'm sure that we can find a workaround. Now, obviously I'm joking, but the issue with the products that these people like Zeph Sanders are shilling is that for a lot of the products, there's absolutely no evidence, at least no scientific evidence that they work. A very short list of over-the-counter and prescription medications, minoxidil, finasteride, dutasteride, and spironolactone have significant evidence of effectiveness when it comes to hair loss. Dr. Marianne McCready-Senna, the director of the Hair Loss Center of Excellence at Lahey Hospital and Medical Center in Massachusetts, said, Intelligen effluvium, which is a common form of hair loss that can be caused by illness, hormonal shifts, or major stress, usually resolves itself without treatment. So those are the products that work, that there's evidence that they work. You can get prescriptions from doctors. But aside from brands like Hims and Hers, the companies paying TikTok bald influencers to sell their products are not selling medically recognized hair loss treatments. They're essentially selling, to some extent, snake oil. Back to that report. Beyond that, things get murky. There is limited evidence that rosemary oil may also be mildly effective in slowing hair thinning, but can also be irritating to the skin, Dr. Senna added. As far as all those serums and skip that. Nutraceuticals, there we go. And massage devices and shampoos and all these other things, she said, referring to products she sees on social media. There's really just no evidence to support their use. But hey, who the hell needs evidence when you have bald TikTokers with massive and desperate audiences? But just to set themselves apart, and this is where my knowledge of hair loss TikTok comes from, these hair loss influencers need to add some flash. They need to add a little pizzazz to their TikToks. The type of content that definitely goes a lot farther is people who are a little bit more entertaining and less educational, said Brandon Patton, who posts videos with titles like Thinning to Winning and zooms in on the receding hairlines of NBA players. Mr. Patton, who lives in Atlanta, is one of a subset of hair loss influencers who identify themselves as trichologists or hair and scalp experts. Note, trichology is not a licensed medical field and no degree is required to describe oneself as a trichologist. In consultations that cost $100, Mr. Patton said he helps men to open up about hair loss and directs them to consult a dermatologist in more advanced cases. Just as a side note, there are online courses you can take and complete within a single week to get a trichology certificate. So that seems legitimate. But if you're wondering, Ray, how popular really are these hair loss treatment, these hair transplant TikToks? Well, videos tagged #hair transplant have more than 4 billion views on the app. And I mentioned I get these on my TikTok For You page. And I'll explain why. Again, I'm obviously not the target audience of these bald influencers, but I do like to play a game on TikTok. I like to play a game where they'll show you a TikTok where they zoom in on the before and after hair transplant of soccer players, just forehead up and then you try to guess which soccer player it is before they took a quick little trip to Istanbul and fixed their hairline. So because I play that game on TikTok, I do get some of these hair transplant and these bald influencers TikToks on my timeline. Waste on me because again, I'm obviously not the target audience, but I do love playing those games. And if you see them, send them to me because it's a fun way to kill some time.
Yeah, I was wondering when Turkey was going to get into this story. All right, we'll come back to that. So I like that they're like, and it earns them $7,000 a month. Yes, but did it earn him any extra hair? And that's what I'm greatly amused by, these like bald specialists. Can I be an overweight specialist? Because their hair never gets any better and I don't ever lose weight. So why can't I do what they do? I'm an overweight specialist. I haven't lost any weight, but I can sell you plenty of snake oil. Hey, look at this. A year later, I still have the same weight, but nevertheless, here's some more snake oil. It's amazing that people buy it. But you know, when people are desperate, they'll buy anything. It's hilariously unproven. And so the Turkey comes into the story because I don't know if any of these guys talk about it, but whenever I tell people that I originally came from Turkey, now a lot of people don't know or they'll say, oh, I visited, etc. But now a significant percentage of the population say, oh, Turkey, I got my hair in Turkey. Oh, is that fake too? Oh yeah, I bet you went, didn't you? And I'm like, no, just hold, what? I was confused by it a couple of years ago. I remember running into some random Persian dude in Canada when we were on a trip there, and he's like, oh, you're Turkish. I love what you people do with hair. So it turns out that Turkey's become a hair and teeth specialist. How's that for niche tourism? So everybody's going over there to get hair transplants and to fix their teeth. So on the teeth part, I've been doing that since I was a kid. My uncle randomly happened to be the dean of the top dental school in Turkey. So we used to wait to the summers, no matter how bad our teeth hurt, to go over there because he'd do it for free. Okay. But I think it's a little different now. But I've been doing that kind of tourism now for about 40, 50 years. Anyways, and on the hair transplants, I had this hilarious Uber driver who's like, look, it worked. He's like, in the beginning, I was nervous. The woman sits on your chest and starts sewing your hair, and I said, how long have you been doing this? And she said, 4 months. I said, oh my gosh, she's not a doctor, 4 months. So I was really worried, but I'll tell you what, it was good food. And he's like, now it worked. I tell everybody, go to Turkey, get new hair. Okay, that if he became a TikTok specialist, A, he'd make more money, and B, that's apparently at least true. So, guys, be careful what they're selling you online. Please double check. I mean, my favorite is Alex Jones, not the penis pills that he sells. You don't have to double check that, okay? There are no penis pills that work, okay? We gotta clarify that for folks, but anyway, but my favorite isn't that, it's the brain pills that he sells. But think about it, this is the only part of Alex Jones which is slightly genius, which is he's like, well, if they're not that bright, they might not figure out that brain pills don't work. But that's sad, of course.
It is crazy how a trip to Turkey has become synonymous online with like, this person is getting a hair transplant. Like there's so many jokes on soccer Twitter and on soccer TikTok where they'll zoom in to the hairline of a soccer player and just like as an example, they'll be like, Marc-Andre ter Stegen is booking a ticket to Istanbul. And then they'll like quote tweet it later with the actual hair transplant, because I mean, these are vain, the highest paid athletes in the world. They care about their appearance. They do it. A lot of them do it, which is why there's enough content that I can play a game on TikTok just guessing which player it is.
Yeah, I mean, these days, Galatasaray or Fenerbahce is going to start throwing in free hair transplants as part of the transfer fee to get them from other clubs.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. We really appreciate it, guys. And we appreciate it if you become members because that allows us to be independent, honest, progressive, all the things that you don't get from corporate media. And all of that is because of you guys. Hit the join button below and become one of us, become a young Turk.